decided to stay. Scene 1. Friday 5th, April 1895. Romantic orchestral music, the light spread. The outline of an ordinary hotel room becomes clear. To the left of the bed, a huge window is swagged in rich material. To the right, a door. The bed is in considerable disorder, a riot of counterpanes, blankets, sheets, and materials in rich brocade. Young men and women are making love in bed. They hear the clerk of the hotel and do their business in the client's room. Moffat, the manager of the hotel, comes in. He informs them that the room's owner, Lord Alfred, will be here. When everybody tries to arrange the room, Lord Ross appears at the door. He is a short man, not yet 30, with a puffed face, rusty body, and beautifully dressed with luggage. He is in obvious distress and complains that the Lord Alfred's assistants already been won. When they are talking about him, Lord Alfred Douglas, Bossy arrives. He is a certainly handsome young aristocrat, 23, fair-haired and positive.
It is simply absurd. It is unendurable.
Lord Alfred?
Rosie, you must calm down.
I cannot believe what has happened.
I know.
Even now, I can't believe it.
Oh, where's Oscar?
He's only here.
What are you saying? Do you mean that you have left him?
I could not endure that solicitor.
Oscar is traveling alone?
I simply got up and walked out. It's alright. Oscar and I had already decided. It was better we traveled apart. Somebody headed him. The crowd all yelled at him. They shouted abuse. The indignity is beyond all description. To have our name in their mouths. I need a glass of cold water. Get it!
Yes, sir.
From a bottle. A bottle! None of that filthy sewage that flows from your taps. Why is this room in such bad disarray?
Oscar has just finished the letter.
Yes, it is written.
Is it dispatched?
To the Evening News. Saying the reason he was forced to abandon his case is he could not allow me into the witness box. He had to protect me.
He is making that clear.
He would not allow me to dispute with my father in public. It drives me to distraction.
I know.
Who was better placed to denounce my own father than anyone? And yet, it is Oscar who forbade me to advance my own cause.
He has explained to you it would not be advantageous.
Not advantageous?
Well, he thought it would do you no good.
Oh well, how brilliant. What a brilliant decision. And how exactly could things have worked out worse than they have? This disgusting little man, this banda who has pretty well ruined my life. And I am not allowed to speak of his appalling behavior. And why not? Oh, because it is not Oscar's wish. And the result? It hardly needs saying. The case is in ruin. The two of us face equal disgrace. He made this fatal mistake. He did not hold me.
No, just 1 minute.
And now, very well. Through his own stubbornness, now he's paying the
Yes, if you could allow us just one
Robbie,
moment.
you always speak for me. For in everything, even with the servant, you speak as if I were not in the room. Always I am not allowed to speak. From this habit of silencing, from the way you have all made me silence, from this our present predicament teens. Well, I'll be silent no longer.
Your water, sir.
What?
The water you asked for, it's here.
So, set it down. Come on. What are you expecting? Tributes? What are you waiting for? Praise?
No, sir. Do you want me to pour it?
Yes, of course. Do it, Moffat. What is the alternative? It pours itself. Robbie, do you have some money? Will you give him here a penny or two?
Yes, of course.
I'll repay it.
Mr. Moffat, thank you. Here's something for you.
The room is not yet ready, I hear.
as long as you guarantee us security, we shall truly require nothing else. Bosie, you realize I do have to speak to you.
I know you must speak to me. You have adopted your headmaster's tone. Come into my study!
Only because what I must say is important. We have little time and it's vital. You know I have been to his house.
Yes.
I have picked up his luggage.
Have you?
At his instructions, I've also cashed him a check. Protest all you like. You know what is happening. He is set on a path he is now determined to take. He will come here only briefly. It is essential. He must not stay long.
No, of course not.
He needs to keep moving.
No. First, I suggest he must stop and take stock.
No!
Robbie, Oscar has given me everything. He's the man I love, I admire. There's no one in the world I admire more than him. But to see him take up the challenge,
Yes.
and then not to give it the care it deserves.
Bosie, that is no longer what matters.
Yesterday, making that joke in the courtroom, even you must see that did him no good.
Plainly.
That says it all. This need to perform.
Yes, but just at this moment, it's scarcely important.
Finally, that instinct is listen. When asked of an Oxford College servant if he had kissed him, oh no, I did not kiss him. He was far too ugly in front of the jury.
I know.
It was not a good joke. Not even a good joke. There was no reason expecting to show up.
No.
I had warned him. And from the moment he said it,
I know, you have said this.
from the moment he said it, our case was finished. We abandoned all chance of victory.
I know. All of us said all this last night. Perhaps, but just at this moment, it is hardly the point. Your father's solicitors have passed on the papers. We know this. We've been told this for sure. They were dispatched to the Attorney General over 2 hours ago.
Oh, Robbie, come on. Why do you think I sent for my cousin? This is exactly what I first saw.
Bosie, in a moment, Oscar will come here. We will only have a short time. In conditions of calm and absolute seriousness, he will have to settle his resolve on the path he must take.
Of course.
The Attorney General is even now speaking to the Home Secretary. It is assuredly only a matter of time. Ascot will give his consent. Pretty soon the local magistrate will issue his warrant for Oscar's arrest. Yes, you heard us this morning with Oscar's solicitors. If you stop and examine the evidence, if you look at the list, that disastrous list of young men, well, is it wise, is it truly courageous to stay here? Fight on when he has no chance to win?
Who says?
Oh, listen. Or rather, is it simply foolhardy? In open court, these men will bear witness. They will see the most terrible things. Things no one will ever forget, whether he wins or he loses. Oscar's reputation will be destroyed for all time.
You said that.
Very well.
I deny it.
You may well deny it. That is your right. But your denial is not of the essence. Nothing now matters save Oscar's own view. Oscar has looked into the abyss. He has seen all the dangers. He will now leave the country. Yes, that is his decision. To leave it forever. And you must respect this choice he has made. By his nature, we both know Oscar can be excited. How do I say this? He can be swayed. I recognize this truth about Oscar. He is always available to your point of view. I am not seeking to silence you, be assured. You may say what you like. I ask you simply take care. There must be no hysteria. You may argue, but you must not dictate. This is the point I am making. On this occasion, because his whole future depends on it, I beg you, let Oscar set his own course. I know I can trust you, Rosie. Behave in a way which gives Oscar a chance.
Oh, Robbie, you always speak pretty,
Thank you.
considerate, modest, as always, well-tempered. Does it never occur to you, life has handed you the easiest role?
What role?
Third party. Robbie, anyone can play third party. It requires no real talent. You play it to perfection, but bear this in mind. It is a role of no consequence. That's him!
Oscar Wilde comes through the world. He is just over 40 with long hair, not at all the delicate fancy of peasant. He is solid, tall, and fleshy, 6 feet 3 inches. A mixture of ungainliness and elegance. Mr. Moffat is behind him, carrying 2 small bags and wine. In here, sir, please come in. The others are waiting.
Oh, Oscar.
Oscar, you're here.
What is this? Oh, what is it?
Oscar.
Dear
Oscar. Oh, Oscar. Thank goodness you're here.
Forgive us, Mr. Moffat. Lord Alfred and I have been parted for almost an hour.
I quite understand, sir.
We have survived the shock of separation. The strain has been awful. On my side, at least. And reporters now seem to be holding some sort of professional convention in your lobby.
Why, sir?
Robbie, can you give Mr. Moffat some money?
Oh, why, yes, of course.
Please put my bags on the bed.
Oscar, remember, do not have long.
Robbie is desperate that nothing should detain.
Rosie.
He's given me a lecture on how I am to behave.
Poor Robbie. That was superfluous. Bosie at all times behaves impeccably.
I have not said otherwise. Oscar, just tell us, what is your news?
My news? I have none. Everyone hourly awaits my arrest. They seem astonished that I am still at liberty. But, my friends, all I can say is, by a miracle, I have achieved the capital. In spite of everything I am finally here. And surrounded by friends, I would say, Mr. Moffat.
Come, you must sit, sir.
No, I am sick. I am here, but I cannot yet say for how long. It appears that the whole of London is fleeing. People had told me, now I see for myself. I looked for my coach. I saw every invert in the metropolitan area packing its bags and heading for France. It is a veritable mass migration. I never imagined diaspora could be on this scale. What remains of my worldly possessions? You had them sent over.
Yes, as we agreed, I went to your house.
Thank you. Thank you, dear Robbie.
Please bear in mind, Oscar, you do not have long.
Excuse me, do you also want coffee, sir? Have you eaten?
Have I eaten? Oh Lord, let me think.
Oscar, I'm afraid that's out of the question. We simply do not have time.
Do I not?
You are here to say your goodbyes to Bosie. Also, I needed you to cut your things.
Yes, of course. But a small drink, please, Robbie. You must not deny.
Why no?
And then, of course, I shall get through. I shall go on the instant.
Do you want to taste, sir?
Pour away. Taste is not in the bottle. It resides in one's mood. So today, no doubt, hot will taste like burnt ashes. Today I will drink my own death.
Mr. Moffat, my orders, a cab is waiting downstairs.
Yes, sir. We are to the driver outside that Mr. Wilde.
His passenger. Do not call him Mr. Wilde. You have that message?
Yes, of course. The passenger voice from Mr. Wilde is coming, and the message is here will not be long.
I'd like to talk to you, Oscar.
Come.
I had an impression from Robbie.
What impression?
Robbie implies that your wish was that I should step back.
Did you? Did you say that?
Not at all, not entirely.
Then what did you say?
I was saying only that you yourself need to make haste.
Oscar, even now, my cousin is having a meeting at the House of Parliament to make sure this prosecution need never take.
Bosie, it's simply impractical. I have no doubt your cousin is doing his best. But there is a train. If Oscar delays, if he does not catch it, then he loses everything.
Yes, and if he does take it, he wakes up tomorrow. Yes. Is that what you want? His life spent then in some foreign country? What's worse? The real possibility he will never get back?
Please, the two of you. I I must impose myself. Robbie, what time is it?
It is just past 2:30.
And tell me, what time is the train? Tell me the time the actual train leaves.
The train leaves at 4.
Ah, well then.
It connects with the boat.
The candidate to Victoria, let us be realistic. In the name of our common humanity, let us get our priorities straight. Let us pause, let us make the seminal decision. It seems that I still have time for my lunch. Be fair to me, Robbie. I face a long journey. I dread neither. I shall need to travel with some ballast in this house. Mr. Moffat, I need something suitable. Perhaps a little lobster. Seafood, certainly. A l'American. With some kind of rice.
That's the rice which is for you.
Or a tempeh. Exquisite. Perfect for crossing the channel. Oh, some big thing now. What would you like?
Nothing. I when even now my father is gloating, standing like some mad animal on the step of the court, screaming that if I ever am seen in your company, then he will have you shot like a dog.
And langoustines, I suppose, are quite simply unavailable.
I regret of the season.
Don't worry, I quite understand.
Very well, it is your decision. I would only remind you the press now know where you are.
That is clear.
If you stay in this room, I do have to warn you at any moment the police may appear.
That will give my lunch an added spice of excitement. Oh, Mr. Moffat, I wonder with lobster, do I really want rice?
Oscar?
We offer excellent golden nuts and potatoes.
Do you recall if I have eaten those before?
Yes, sir.
And were they not heavy? Are they not more suitably a dinner-time dish?
All right. Eat all you like, just as long as you're quick. But there are things I must tell you. I have to remind you I have been to your house.
We shall both, sir. I shall bring you both dishes, the rice and the potatoes. Then you can choose.
Excellent, Mr. Moffat. Throughout this kind of trial, I've had excellent service. Whenever I've visited, I have been made to feel welcome. It's something which means a great deal to me. No, truly. Thank you, I am moved by it.
Our pleasure, sir.
Robbie, a cue for more money.
Oscar, that is not what this money is for.
You know, I can't abide meanness.
Very well. I shall give them some of my own.
This is in character. Robbie is a true Christian. Here.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Greatly appreciated.
Now, I'm sorry, but we really do need to be on our own.
Will you have some wine with me, please? Look, there's more than one glass. Here. Please, stay close to me, Rosie. I need you. You and I have still a long way to go.
I have to report to you. I have seen Constance.
You saw her.
Yes.
And what did she say? Tell me. How were the children?
I did not see them, but she assured me the children were well.
Go on.
She's in the most terrible turmoil. There's only one way to relieve it. She asked me to beg you. She implored you to free me. Look.
You say you caught no sight of the children.
No, my impression was they were playing in the nursery.
I see. And do they yet have any knowledge of what has happened?
Constance says they know nothing at all. For their sake, she says, you must choose exile. If you stay and battle it out at a trial, the prospect of what will be said, what will be repeated in London, well, their lives will not be worth living. She's sending them abroad. Tomorrow.
She is sending the children. I see.
Flight is imperative for the whole family. She was relieved when I gave her the news.
My news?
Yes.
You said I had already decided.
I described our meeting last night.
Did you say who was there?
To be truthful, I mentioned the others, but I did not mention Lord Alfred. Understand, I did not think it was fair. You must realize...
Oh, I do.
She has conceived the most passionate resentment. To say at this point that you still meet with Rosie, that you take account of his views.
Oh, really? I cannot endure this.
Oh, why not?
The whole thing makes no sense at all.
Why?
Because we did not decide it. We have not decided. My recollection is quite firm on this point. Exile was only one choice among many.
Oh, Rosie, now really?
I mean it. I thought that is what this meeting is for.
Whatever we said, whatever we argued, it is no longer relevant. Look at the reality. Outside, a cab will be waiting. It's waiting. I ordered it.
So,
It'll take him to the station. He can do no other. This is the last boat tonight, Oscar.
Do not distress yourself. The hour is fixed in my memory. I know exactly how soon I must leave.
Oscar cannot live until he hears from my cousin.
Oh, really?
He will come here by 3 at the latest, he said. He will bring us firm news from Ascris. Why are you always so scornful?
Because we all know it is going to be simply too late.
George Wyndham is a man of considerable influence. He is a member of Parliament. It is mandate for Oscar to run headlong from the country until we know beyond any question that a prosecution cannot be stopped.
It cannot be stopped.
You know nothing, Robbie. Forgive me, but the thinking of middle-class people is hardly what one might call a strong point of yours. George is a friend of Prime Minister.
So?
Robbie, please trust me. I understand these things rather better than you. My name is good for something, I hope. There is not much point in being born with the name of Quinsbury, unless there are moments when it can't be used.
I wish I shared your faith in the English. Nation to them is just important as class. They have united at last in hatred of the foreigner. Yes, because I am Irish.
That's so so.
Is it? Yesterday I looked across the courtroom. It shocked me. I tell you, their excitement was more than merely professional. Yes? Did you see that? This was a court which ached for a kill.
Yes.
The whole nation is ready. I've been tolerated for too long a time. No one has rights in this country. One is granted only a temporary license. And here comes a moment when mine is withdrawn. What is this? Did you pack these for me?
Certainly.
Box of St. Ignatius, Robbie! My God, what is this? This only gets worse. Jenkins, Robbie, do you not know me?
I was rushed.
You think I should gorge myself on sentimental morality?
Very well, then tell me what would you prefer?
Why? Tale of suffering and murder, injustice, the spilling of blood. Let my reading be only of ravaging, destruction, and rape. That is what I want, nothing else. And for these things, the only book worth considering is the Bible. The essential companion to exile. I shall read it continually.
I shall get you a Bible.
Oh, Oscar, please. You do not convince. You're affecting indifference. You're standing there talking about the books you will take.
A critical discussion of literature seems to me at all times worth having.
Oh, yeah? I am not for 1 second fooled.
You're not fooled. Why should I be seeking to fool you? You of all people, Rosie, I promise you, nothing in the world could be further from my mind.
Oh, come on. You must know what I'm saying.
Oh, really? Remind me, what do I know?
I know, under this, you're feeling quite different. I do know you better than anyone else.
Yes, you do.
I care for you. You know that, but I also want you to see what is happening. To see it clearly.
Well,
It is essential my father is not seem to succeed. If you flee, it's like admitting you're guilty.
I fear so.
What? And that does not disturb you?
Not at this very moment. Why no?
The thought of it, the shame, being taken for a coward?
You say I'm acting indifferent. I promise you, I have no need to simulate. My indifference is real.
Oh,
You
Oscar.
urge me to take some decision. You say I must now decide my whole fate. Why? Why make a decision which does not yet to be made? What's more, think of this. I am where I wish to be. Yes, just at this moment, at least for the instance. Things could hardly be better. Consider, I found myself here with you in this room. Yes, with this wine, where I have been happiest these past 5 weeks. The three of us planning our hopeless campaign. Outside this room, I will find only suffering. The world is charged. It is poised. My destiny will all too quickly unfold. But while we are here, perhaps you think this short-sighted, but you cannot deny it. The fact is that things are not really too bad.
Excuse me?
Oh, food, yes, delicious.
I'm sorry?
Oh, yes, please enter.
Oh, Oscar, you're not really planning to eat?
Yes, I am.
How? I mean, why? At this moment?
Yes, Mr. Mufat, please do set the table down here. Dear Mr. Mufat, some more wine when you're ready.
Yes, sir. I'm afraid to have to tell you, sir, there's now quite a crowd in the street.
Proud.
Yes, they look like a rich monk.
Indeed.
They are paying for blood.
That is quite a coincidence. It has also been widely exciting in here. The temperature's rising. We live in a veritable cauldron of fear. More wine, and shall we nail at the entrance? This all confirms in my decision to stay in this room.
Oscar.
No, Robin, please. This is for a second. Allow me this equipoise. Let me have that. I have perhaps half an hour. Allow me this one sweet moment of peace.
Excuse me, sir, Mr. George Winden.
George.
He asked if he may be allowed to come in.
Tell him yes.
If you don't mind, Rosie, I would prefer if you saw him outside. No, really.
Why?
I can tell he'll be breathless.
Oh,
It's a
Oscar.
breathlessness I cannot face.
Are you going to be
He'll rush in
challenged?
wearing those awful striped trousers and burst in with news which he'll want to blurt out. The very name Wyndham exudes self-importance. A person called Wyndham indeed, George Wyndham. One can sense him warming the back of his legs by the fire and discussing it with chairs.
Oh, I see. So you're going to be gracious. Is that it? Is it how you're going to behave?
Not at all.
He may bring you good news of your freedom.
Then please, by all means, you may see him out there in the road. I have said, you are welcome to see him.
What shall I say, sir?
I just don't much fancy the prospect myself.
Oscar, George has been
I know
working.
this.
He has been in Parliament all morning on your behalf.
Tell him I appreciate all he has done for me, but I do not wish to speak to him now.
Why not?
Because it is simple. Open that door and the real world comes into this room.
You know this has been the whole story.
What?
This has been my problem throughout.
And the wine? Can you get me the wine?
Yes, of course, sir.
It is as if you still can't absorb it. George Wyndham is a powerful man.
I know that.
He's my cousin, for God's sake. He has far better things to do with his time.
I'm sure.
For him, there is also the danger.
I see that.
A man of his standing. The risk he is taking by speaking on your behalf. And why do you think he is doing it? My cousin George is actually risking his neck. Because, by the purest coincidence, he happens to hate my father almost as much as I do myself.
Why, yes.
So then, why will you not take the wine?
Oh, Bosie.
I mean it. Why won't you? He's
experience. I do not wish to speak to George Wyndham because the point is George Wyndham cannot succeed. Ah, and here comes my role. Thank goodness. Note that your timing is excellent, as always, I see.
Thank you, sir. Do you want me to open it?
I most certainly do.
What? What are you saying exactly? You're saying George Wyndham cannot succeed?
The outcome is settled. It makes no difference what we do now. Oh yes, by all means, admit your friend in his pinstripes. Let him bring us news from the oak-paneled corridors of whispered meeting with all his biscuity, high-minded friends. But, Rosie, do you believe that such meetings can weigh on our fortunes? Even you must see it. It's simply too late.
Too late.
Yes, of course, ask Robbie. There's no point in further discussion because further discussion is plainly foredoomed.
I don't understand. Why do you say that?
Still not grasp it. I see it clearly, Mike. Plainly. So plainly, with the fourth of Revelation.
Oscar, what makes you so sure that you're not going to win?
Look, Bosie.
No, really. There are two things we seem to be blindly assuming. First, that there will be a criminal trial. And second, that should it take place, we are destined to lose.
Bosie, do you really imagine I care? Do you think it is a prospect of losing which makes me so fearful?
Oh, Oscar, I beg you, do not give up.
Give up. Give up. Why should it matter? Shall I give up? Shall I carry on? Either, neither, guilty, not guilty. How can it make a blind bit of difference? The simple fact is, I am cast in a role. My story has already been written. How I choose to play it is a mere matter of taste. The performance of the actor will not determine the action.
And what is this action?
The action is I am being expelled.
Oh, really?
It is true. I am trapped in a narrative. The narrative now has a life of its own. It travels inexorably towards my disgrace, towards my final expulsion. And it bears me along on its crest. Yes, for me, in fact, borne along by this story, there's even an odd kind of freedom. I may wear whatever mask I may choose. Tragic, defiant, cheerful, resigned. I may try all these attitudes. I may bring what so-called feelings I like to this role. But they will not have the slightest effect on the outcome. The story has only one possible end.
Oscar, why do you feel that? For God's sake! After all, we have been through. Just see him. What makes you lose by it? My cousin is serious. My cousin is desperately concerned.
Of course, I do not for 1 second doubt it. I know that look in the English. They affect a particular furrow-browed earnestness, a desperate considerateness. As they settle one's fate, they arrange their features in a way which is always moral and grave. They speak about law and principle, and how much it will hurt them to do the thing they must do. And at the end of the seriousness, the weightiness, the sorrow, the judicious weighing of things in the scales. Have you really not noticed the decisions they make lead only one way? This is England. There is always a hanging, and this time it's decided. The noose has been fitted, and the neck is my own.
What more, sir?
Poor. Have you never once thought? You never asked yourself? Never once wondered why your Wyndhams exist? Why they exhibit all that desperate dawning concern? Wyndhams exist only to stand in front of the Askists, and the Askists are the ones who get their own way. And how appropriate. It seems that the lobster is here. Robbie, please shower him with money at once. Alter my mood, let us do something noble. Let us try and change his life for the good. Since we ourselves cannot be happy.
Oscar.
And another be happy instead. Robbie, open my pocketbook for a while.
No, I refuse to.
What? Would you defy me?
Sir, would you like us to serve you the lobster at once?
Lay it forth by all means. Yes, abduct me down the path of access.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Bosie, I beg you, do not look so sulky. I cannot bear you see cast low.
Well, how do you want me to take this?
In the same way I hope I will take it myself. Bosie?
I cannot, Oscar. You know what I feel for you. You have been the love of my life, but now you're taking up an attitude that makes no sense to me. You have decided you're foredoomed. It is as if you want your own downfall. You welcome it. You imagine this weakness poetic. It is what you have called embracing your fate.
Is that right?
How do you love that idea? But to me, it has no such attraction. It just means that you lack the will to fight back. In your writing, you love to say there is always a destiny. Men are always dragged down by the gods. Do not make this mistake. Do not confuse your life with your art. Such ideas belong only in literature. They do not belong in the world. These boys who will testify, who will stand up in court and say you took them to bed. Who are they? They are known to be renters, blackmailers, the scum of society. Why do you think that the court will believe them? Why are you so sure that you cannot win?
I have said I am indifferent to win. Whatever the verdict, my reputation is gone.
Ah, yeah, of course. How convenient. It's all a conspiracy. The disaster has happened already, and of course it's not your own fault. How is it? It's all the fault of the England. The England who was obsessed with planning your cause.
Bosie.
But I do well to remind you, if you go down, then I will go down by your side. You've forgotten. I am also a poet as well, but with a far different outlook. I don't want to find destruction romantic. Yes, it is true. And I mean it. Yesterday in court, those answers you gave. You have wanted these things. It's a terrible part of you. You have welcomed the chance to play tragedy. Well then, please sit in this room until you're groggy. By all means, until you're musky with drinks. Sit here and tell yourself that your fate is decided. The whole thing is written in advance in the star. But I am a different character. I know you better than anyone alive. You always sit there, you always leave it to others to act. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of you. I shall confer with my cousin, because unlike you, Oscar, I want to fight.
Sir, the meal is now ready.
Ah,
The dish is prepared.
good.
The lobster has been salted in butter. Tomatoes have been added, crushed garlic, shallots, tarragon, orange peel, parsley, white wine.
Yes, thank you.
We dust with cayenne and then bask in fresh
Please.
cream.
In one moment, I will be ready to eat it. Robbie, I insist you reward them at once. Now, Robbie. Give me that pocketbook. Give me my cash, I insist.
No, I won't.
Robbie.
I cannot do it in honesty. The money's there to fund you in exile. I cannot allow you to give it away.
Robbie, just pass me the pocketbook. Earlier I asked you to cash me a check.
That check was intended for one purpose
Its
only.
purpose is not your concern.
Oscar, this is what Bosie is saying. You do not protect your own cause. You need this money. With all respect to the people, why would you waste
Give me my money! How dare you! The money is mine! Robbie. Come close to me, Robbie. Would you wish to accept? Now, Robbie. Robbie. Look me in the eye. It is my will. Just pass me the pocket. Thank you. Please allow us all to live our own lives. Mr. Movement, I have had magnificent service. I have remarked on this already, I know.
I'm sorry, Mr. White, but we cannot accept.
What?
No, sir, we cannot. We cannot take this money of yours. You have given us kindness, and at this moment your deed is greater than ours. Here in this hotel, we see all sorts of people. People of every background and type. But we see very few gentlemen.
Thank you. I am very well moved.
And now we will ask you just one simple favor.
Of course, Mr. Movement. What's that?
That you sit down and eat your meal.
Yes, of course, Mr. Movement.
We'll leave you goodbye, sir. Call if there's anything you feel you might need. We will be close, sir.
Thank you. Thank you indeed. I cannot be. Robbie, come here, please.
Oscar. Oscar.
You think I haven't said Rosie? What is Rosie thinking, do you know?
I do not.
Good God, what's happening? I am awash. I have lost my handkerchief. Oh Lord, where are my handkerchiefs?
Please, Oscar, let me. I packed a bunch of silk handkerchiefs Constance gave me.
Constance, oh Constance, my dear. Even the sound of her name. Look, even the lobster reproaches me. Everything reproaches me. Look, just look at his dead eyes staring up. To have killed me, it says, and then not even to eat me.
Oscar, I'm afraid the moment has come.
It's come.
By my watch, it's now 3:15. Remember, you don't yet have a ticket. If you leave now, you will still have a chance.
Yes. Now,
Yes.
you think? How can I leave without Bosie? I can hardly leave without saying goodbye.
Soon enough, you may see him.
I cannot leave if Bosie feels it is wrong. Forgive me, do not feel fully at ease. It is an instinct, no more. I imagine myself as I pass through that door. No, not yet. I need to speak once more to Bosie. Yes, bring me Bosie and then I will.
Oscar, I am uncertain why you are so keen to delay your departure.
I have given my reasons. I still am not sure.
I can only say if you do not leave quickly, if you do not leave in the next 5 minutes, in fact, the chances are that tonight you'll spend your first night in prison. This is a prospect I do not believe you have faced.
I have faced it.
Oh, really? I have been waiting. I have been standing here desperately, trying not to say this all week. You are locked in a peril not of your making. You have done all you have to. Your duty is over and now you must leave. Your friends, yes. Your real friends have all tried to help
I
you.
am not lacked for the telling.
They have tried to warn you. You have walked open-eyed towards this disaster. If you stop and consider, if you give a moment's thought to how Bose has actually behaved, what he has wanted all along, his sole and single intention was always to make his father respond. Yes, and when he had succeeded, when he had goaded his father to a point when he simply could not ignore, then it was not Bose who was threatened. It was not Bose who had to risk it all in court. Oh no! Instead, the boy turns to his dearest friend Oscar and says, "Could you possibly do this on my behalf?"
That isn't true.
Oh, isn't it? And that you, Oscar Wilde, so poisoned, so brilliant, should be pulled along like a puddle. Where are you? Where's the Oscar you knew? And now you're delaying because he wants you to stay here, of course. Stay here in England. Why not? It's your life, not his. You are to stay here and confront this famous list of immoral young men. Yet one thing we're forgetting. How did you meet them? I'm asking, how did you meet them? You choose not to answer because you know full well you cannot.
All right.
You choose not to say it, but you met them through him. Yes. And will he face
Now,
prosecution?
Robbie.
No. Will his life be dragged through the country? No, of course not. He escapes. When he has done these same things and with these same men, why does Bosie escape prosecution?
Robbie.
He escapes prosecution because he's a lord. Well, it's true and you know it. When you and I were together, you knew none of this, young man. It was Bosie who drew you into this trade. And why? Because Bosie withheld...
Robbie, you must not go on with this. You have said quite enough.
I have watched you. You are intent on denying reality. Now you ask of your friends that we should deny it as well. I heard you today. You yourself said it. Nothing but trouble waits for you now. This is your moment. Save yourself, Oscar. Make for the continent.
Demand that I make a decision. Here is my decision. I refuse to go until Bosie returns.
It will not be long. Oscar, there are other people who love you. Perhaps you should remember there are others as well.
What is the fatal human passion? What is the source of all sin on this earth? This propensity of all human beings to indulge in the improper rapture, the gratuitous pleasure of giving others advice. Yes, I had rather swim neck deep in this arterial sewer. I had rather give up my body to every disease and indigent trap in the streets than surrender to this abominable indulgence of telling other people what they should do. It's not kind. It's not kind of you, Robbie. Is there not some small part of us which is purely our own, which is our soul, which is our innermost being, and which we alone should control? Bomber, it is not fair. In any civilized war, and fortified places are respected. I knew what you meant. You did not need to tell me. You know full well I have done what I did out of love. To not seek to destroy me by laying out what you call the facts. It is cruel. It is cruel when you do such. I have acted out of love. I have defended this love which exists between us, the purest I have known in my life. More perfect, more vital, more telling, more various, richer, more vibrant, more sweet. The redeeming fact of my life. It is what I have left. It is what remains. All else must now have been taken away. So you would now take even that from me. You would tell me I have been deceived and used in all this. Consider what you're saying. Is the love between us is not as I think it? Then I shall have suffered to no purpose at all.
Oscar,
Oh, Rosie.
I'm sorry. I've kept you too long.
Not at all.
I have been talking to George in the corridor.
Well,
I'm afraid his news is not helpful. His fate. He said that you will be arrested. He says, however, there is one further thing that you must know.
what is that?
They are deliberately choosing to delay.
They're delaying.
Yes, till this evening. George says that they are employing a sporting metaphor. The fox must be given its chance to escape.
Oh, I see.
They would prefer it. It would suit them better if you would sleep. This brief opening is offered.
How considerate. And bosun, tell me, what do you think I should do? Robin. No, really. I'm asking. Truly.
But surely you must decide.
Surely. But you must still have an opinion. Well,
You know, I would prefer yours to stay here. Nothing George tells me has changed how I think. I am still persuaded that if we pursue it with vigor, there is no question the case can be won.
yes.
But the point is that just at this moment in time, George is saying that when they come to a rescue, it is in nobody's interest that I myself should be.
No.
If it is known in the newspaper that you and I were together at the same time,
Yes, of course.
then that is something which George say will surely further inflame my father and therefore make this all better worse.
I see.
Now look, I have said, if you want me to stay with you, there is no question of it. I belong at your side. But in what he suggested, I confess I do see a sort of brutal wisdom.
Yes. I discern that brutal wisdom myself.
Be clear, I'm not for 1 second offended.
No.
I hope you know me.
I know you, of course.
I am living for only this interval. I say again, this brief interval, no more and no less. George wants me to go with him to Westminster. He wants me to work with him on your behalf. He thinks he may secure your favor tonight, assuming of course that you do not flee.
We can meet tonight.
Yes,
We could meet this evening.
if you stay, nothing changes. We meet as we always have done. You may be assured. It is the wish of my heart. George is saying. He's saying my family would like me to travel. They would prefer if I too went away. But I have told him, no, if Oscar stays, then I shall stay with him. I shall not leave.
No.
Have you decided?
I'm sorry?
Today, will you stay or go?
Oh, I am in the process, Bosie. Kiss me. It is what we fear which happens to us.
Sir, excuse me, it's Mr. Bingham. He says Lord Alfred must enjoy it now. He says it's urgent. He cannot wait any longer.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mopat.
He asked me to insist Lord Alfred must leave here at once.
I'm sorry.
I know you have no time now, Bosie.
Yes, I must leave.
So, we shall meet again, but we cannot say when. However, my darling, may it be soon.
I must go. I must go. Oh God, what a business. Truly. Yes, it may be soon. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. as the French says, à bientôt.
So, they choose me to offer this opening. The whole world wants me to go.
Yes.
The world persists in thinking me shallow. They think me feckless. They consider me weak. Flee, and I hand them this ready opinion. Do you know, I think I may have decided. Open my case, I beg you. I wish to sit here. I wish to read. I shall not run down this hole they have dug. I will not stoop to live on all fours. Yes, I can run, but I choose not to. Die of embarrassment in some hovel abroad. Admit to society they have driven me out. No, I will not give them that pleasure. I am going to do the single thing which will drive them to frenzied distraction. I am going to sit down and get on with my lunch. My mind is made up. Good. A book. Yes, a book, please, Robbie. If I run now, my story is finished. For long as I stay, it is not an end. I prefer my story unfinished. This lobster is good.
It was better earlier.
I'm sure I could not eat it before. Robbie, you know you must leave me also. It is not safe for you here.
I know that.
You have done enough. You must not be found with me.
If it seems that Bosie cannot stay, then I am not willing to leave you.
Good. I shall not be alone. Food is good. The book is excellent. We know that the police have been delayed. Once more it seems I have no alternative. I have no other option. It is clear. The moment has come when I must sleep.
You cannot sleep.
Why not?
But they will come to rescue.
I am tired.
They will find you like this.
It suits me. I do not care for their judgment at all. Let us sleep and dream of trains now. For as long as we sleep, we are in safety. The train is going, and I shall sleep.
The music begins to build up. The room is dark. The light comes again from the high window and sweeps round in a circle, like the trends of the sun catching the dust in the air. For the deep yellow beam of the lighthouse highlighting the room is twisted as it passes and dies. Then, after a while, light returns to the room itself. They have not yet lit the lamp, so they are silhouetted by the light of the cold London afternoon from the window. Ross does not realize that Wilde has opened his eyes. Sit too.
You are still here.
Yes.
Do you remember? Do you remember when we first met?
Yes.
You said you
Yes.
were the first man I slept with. Yet I imagine I knew more than you.
Sir,
Yes.
there's a reporter. He says the police are just about to arrive. They're coming upstairs to take you. He says they are on their way.
Thank you, Mr. Moffat. Will you light the lamps for us? I am well ready. Robbie?
Yes.
You are at my side. Mr. Moffat, when the police arrive, then please admit them.
Yes, sir.
Ready?
Yes.
Let them come in.
Next two. Deciding to leave. Scene 1. Friday 3rd, December 1897. The music is serene as Italian light floods into the Villa Highlands at Telescope near Naples years later. The sun is an astonishing wintry cold outside the double doors, which led into the balcony. The style is inside vernacular. You can see a white metal rail. There is a sense of sun, sea, and the horizon. Inside, modernism. The walls are white. The sparse furniture of the rented house looks forward in its cognizant color to the 20th century. The main door gives on to a small hallway with stairs beyond. The room is unfronted with one small table on which there is a cup of coffee, some cups and some short buns. While he's sitting in a chair reading, he's dressed like an English gentleman, in very formal dark clothes which makes no concession to Mediterranean. His body is grown slack and fat, and his face is ravished by deprivation and alcohol. There is a tension in his movements which is new. Behind him, on a pale sofa, two men are sleeping under the sheet. They have plainly been there some time. There are traces of a roar. One of them stirs, and we see that it is Bossy. He is now past his mid-20s, and still good-looking, but no longer ready to refuse. Bossy sits up, taking a moment to wait, but Wilde just carries on reading.
We never made up upstairs.
Does not bother me at what level you do it. Please perform at any elevation you choose. To me, it's a matter of consummate indifference. He looks like a young fisherman.
He is. That's who he is. That's what he does.
Tutto mosquero?
No, posso di assai. Poi questi sono quelli buoni, freschi, ancora caldi. Li hai comprati da Gigi e il suo amore.
What does he say?
Why? Does it bother you?
No.
You seem to speak to him in his language, one way or another. Even if that language in your case is not specifically Italian, my lord.
What have you been doing?
Reading.
And writing? Have you been doing some writing?
Of course, my play.
How is your play?
My play is first class. There's a letter for you.
From whom?
I'd say from your mother.
I will look at it later. Thank you.
Now, as for tonight,
Oh, please. We have seen every performance you has given.
we cannot play go because we have no money.
No?
We have not a penny. I have been twice to the post office while you are practicing astronomy.
And
Nothing. Nothing has arrived.
I thought you were expecting payment for your poem.
Indeed I am. I am pursuing it. I have written many times. Yet, when I visit the post office, there is a collective Italian groan. There goes Signor Wilde, lo scrittore irlandese. There's no money. No money. No money.
What do we have? What is left to us?
A few bottles of brandy, some coffee. The last servant I have sent away. Beyond that, nothing. Unless there's a chance of your getting a ride on this boat tonight. Perhaps if you went fishing, we would at least eat tomorrow, if you became a fisherman.
No one in my family has ever taken up the profession.
We can't live on cod.
The letter from mother, how big it is.
There's no check in it. I have held it up to the light.
Well then,
Before the catastrophe, before the great disaster, one writes, but one does not know. And, by and large, my guesses were right. There is no morality in what is called morality. I saw this, before I even suffered. And, suffering, found out to be true.
hot coffee.
Enjoy it. We are not yet boiling acorns, but in a few days...
You don't seem very worried
What do you mean?
by not having any money.
Ah, I came at your invitation. If you remember, it was your idea. You promised to look after it. You had money, you said. But The roulette wheel disobliged again.
Well, we could have been rich.
Ah, yes.
I could have doubled my money.
If only your success at gambling could equal your grasp of gambling's governing principles. It can double my money. Very good. You have understood the potential of the activity perfectly. You understand its lure. You know what it promises, and yet for some
Very
reason
funny.
you seem not to be able to make that little
All
leap that some
right.
people make. The leap to where it delivers what it promises. Why is that? What is that in you? The promise, but not the fulfillment of the promise.
What are you saying?
I am saying you promised to look after me, Rosie. Yet, the tradesmen's bills arrive with my name on the envelope. In restaurants, in bars, waiters turn to me. My pockets are empty, not yours.
If I had money, I'd give it to you. You know that. I have given you everything. Do you doubt my good faith?
No, never.
Everyone left you.
Remember, I do.
The virtuous
Ah,
companions
yes.
of whom we all heard so much. The embodiment of virtues called faithful, long-suffering constance. Where was she? Robbie Ross, the good friend, little Robbie, the trusted advisor who loved you, who'd give up his life for you. Where was he? Abroad. All your so-called friends, so-called allies, abroad, scattered across Europe. Remember?
You left also.
Yes, but I was the last to go. Bear that in mind, I was the last.
I know.
밖에 스타디스트도
Yeah.
And yet only I am mocked. Everywhere, your worthless friends. Feckless bosom. Shallow bosom. Oh yeah. It is always I who am prejudiced. But it is I who stayed by you until the day of your trial. Yes, at least you were tried.
I was.
You were fortunate. I have been condemned, and yet I have not even been tried.
No.
I am much misrepresented.
I know that.
Even now in the paper all across Europe. How can I be what they say I am?
You are not.
They disregard my poetry. They disregard my status.
Indeed.
You're poetically correct, you said. You have said it in print. You're equal.
Just so. It is true, I have said it. You are one of the greatest poets in England.
One of.
Well, your lyrics are lovely.
And let it be said, and let it be made clear, I am as much the victim of this affair as you. Yes, quite as much.
Plainly.
And in many ways, I am not ashamed to say this. My suffering has been greater. Oh yeah, I know how that sounds, for I have not suffered physically.
No.
I know it. I would not say of that.
Quite.
I have not known the deprivation of confinement.
You have not.
But you, Oscar, have not known the horror of not being heard, of being disregarded, of being overlooked. Contempt of my peers, my God. Is there not equal suffering? There are two peoples here.
I know that.
Two peoples who suffer and endure. Two human beings. But that is not said in the paper.
No.
They speak only of the one who stood in the dark. God, how I long to set this whole affair right. God, I long to speak.
You must not speak. When you have spoken, it has been a mistake. When you have published, when you have tried to publish certain private things between us, references to us, to our friendship, it has not advanced our cause.
not advanced it.
No.
How is our cause advanced by our forbearance? How it is helped? It is helpful. Do you think never to say anything? Never to speak our lives? How will things be changed? How will England be changed unless we speak?
Changing England is low on my list of current priorities.
What? Are we to spend our whole lives shrouded in secrecy, covering our offense in shame,
So it appears.
never daring to speak, never daring to say? Yes, we are two men who believe in the highest form of love, the purest, the most poetical, such as that which exists between us. Love between men? Can we not speak of that?
Certainly not. Under no circumstances.
Why are you so sure?
Trust me. Truly. I understand this better than you. Trust me.
Non capisco niente. Di che parlate?
Nothing. Niente? No. We have come to Naples to supper and to be silent. Ours is an ethic of silence.
Indeed,
However,
you have no courage.
and you have no strategy. That is why we are perfectly suited. Let this conversation be over.
You're always stubborn. You always turn away.
Why not? The day has started to fade and turn dusky. The sun has begun its nightly cabaret, so tonight, come, let us not spend the evening indoors in what my fellow Irishmen call begrudgery. Let us go out, let us walk among the youths again and enjoy the gorgeous vulgarity of the night. Yes,
As you wish.
it is nearing the hour when I cried every night in prison. I wept every night for a year, for the whole of my first year, at 6 o'clock. This is the hour Christ died.
I thought Christ died at 3.
Christ died at 6, he died at cocktail hour. Oh Lord, are you expecting visitors?
No.
Surely not more official folk.
We not promote visitors unless it's that woman who comes to deal with the rats.
So Robbie.
Who is it?
Robbie! We did not know you were coming to Naples.
Nor did I. Postcard.
We thought you were the witch.
I'm sorry.
A witch comes to smoke out the rats. We are not much visited.
I see.
You did not favor us with a telegram.
No, I was not sure you would see me.
Come, I will always see you. We have not eaten for days except stale sugar beans. But we have 3 bottles of brandy at least, and they are yours to enjoy.
Thank you. Yes, I would like a glass.
Help yourself. Those you was remarking on my reluctance to move. He's right. My whole celebrity, you might say, is now based on that reluctance. I mean, not fleeing when you begged. Sitting still, staying still.
You look well.
Do not mock me. My appearance is that of a senior pederastic Anglican bishop who has been locked all night in a distillery. Flatter by all means, I adore it, but not for my appearance. You bring us news of the art. Does anyone still paint?
Not in the way you would wish. Hard times to make a living.
Please,
For I am scarcely sold it myself.
you will prosper, Robbie, I predict. You have chosen exactly the right trade for the turn of the century. Art dealing holds snobbery, ignorance, and greed in a near miraculous equilibrium. Capitalism is a coming thing. I have seen enough to know.
You mean since your punishment?
Prison was not my punishment. This is my punishment. To your help.
To yours.
Where have you come from?
To Today from Rome, yesterday from Nervi.
Ah, yes, now I understand. You see how we are. You see how we are living.
Yes.
Simply. A loan of a little money would help me. Deuce hopes to stage my play Salome, but she needs investors.
Again, you asked me before.
I did.
Some months ago.
Plainly, my imagination is failing. A loan is wasted either way, yet for some reason it reassures a giver to believe it to be used when they call it constructive. No one lends £5 for drugs, whereas everyone lends £5 for an expedition to take young boys up the Zambezi.
Not to you, Oscar. Not to you.
No, nor to you, when you're less of a prig. Never mind, I scramble on somehow and hope to survive the winter. After that, Tunis, rats, and hashish.
It is not my fault, truly.
Does it please you, this running between us?
No.
Why do you do it then? The behavior of all my friends has begun to mystify me.
When you came out of prison, everyone wanted to welcome you. They wanted to see you, we greeted you, we waited with flowers. They found you a house and frags to live in.
So you are saying your friendship came with conditions?
All friendship comes with conditions.
No. Myself, I gave friendship freely to anyone. When I had it, I gave money away in the streets.
Oscar, I have tried to help you. I have tried at all times only to help you. My motives are pure. I seek only to reconcile parties who find it hard to reconcile.
I sense it already that you're bringing me bad news.
I am bringing you news.
Ah,
News I did not wish you to receive by letter. Whether it is bad or not depends on how you react to it.
thank you. So it is my choice.
Yes.
I have had indications. I have had letters. I have had threats. My trips to the post office reward me not with checks, but with cheap mottos.
I have spoken to Constance.
Yes, well, I imagined. How is she?
Not well.
I heard.
Her back is worse.
I'm sorry.
Her spine will not mend. It's broken from the fall. She is confined the whole day, and the prognosis is that things will not improve.
And the children?
Yes, she says the children are well.
Good.
A little bewildered. Cyril is still in Heidelberg, Vivian and Amanda. They've learned to play chess.
They ask after me.
Often.
It is the hope of one day seeing them which sustains me. That is what sustains me. It is for that I live.
Then we have common ground on which we can build. Constance says she's written.
She has. Often.
She says you do not answer.
I have not answered, no.
Why not?
I have nothing to say.
You do not answer her letters.
What am I to say? That Deuce is fine, but not as fine as Bernard. Art chat, art gossip. The vagaries of the weather in Naples.
She said she fears the worst when she heard you were in Naples. She said nobody goes to Naples at this time of year.
Plainly, Robin. You have come to enrage me. You have come to unsettle me.
No.
You have come to take her part.
Why should I?
It is not enough to trap me, no, nor to try me, no, nor to send me to prison, to take away my reputation, my position, to take away my London, the London at whose very center I once stood. This is now not enough. The world, having broken me, now must also come into my house. It will pursue me, it will not let up.
The means of it letting up are in your own hands.
In your view.
No, in Constance's view.
And these views are not coincident. They are not the same.
Oscar, you know what you must do. You know what is asked of you.
Oh, yes.
I do not need to speak it, you know already.
What is this sense that I have let you all down in some way?
I have not said that.
I would like to understand this. Explain to me. You feel that somehow I have failed you. Is it my offense that I am free? What would you wish? You would prefer me back in prison. I am not just to live, but I must also live in a way of which you approve.
Not I, Constance. I speak to Constance. I do not speak for
No,
her.
you mean you do not sit with her in nervy consoling her. You do not sit together in darkened rooms under rococo cornices, drinking mean glasses of sweet wine, your heads bowed together, adopting the same low, regrettable tone, speaking together of Oscar, poor, foolish Oscar.
You made her promises in prison. You made her certain promises.
Well,
these promises you have not fulfilled.
Is this like to be tried again? In my own living room, is the universe now become a court of law? Were my pre-trials not enough? Were proceedings only temporarily suspended during my imprisonment? Are we now to put up the dark wood paneling and put on our wigs again?
Oscar, you made an agreement. You signed it.
So,
She has the right to enforce it.
the right. What right? Same right she has to rebuke. She charges me that I am not rich. She sent me pictures of children. I look at them. I cry. All evening I weep. What am I to say? She writes again, you have said nothing about the photos. How rude you are. It is clear you do not love your children. She wants me to answer. How could I? It is too cruel. I have spent my life holding language up to the light. Make words shimmer in the light. How am I to say to her, I love my children so much I cannot? It is all a bribe. It is all bribery. Behave as I would wish, and one day you will see your children. I sat with them. I played with them in the nursery for years. Yes, regardless. Before the theater, after the theater, hurrying home to see my children. Yes. Even though I left to travel down the darkest east end street to smear my mouth against men whose names I never knew. Yet, every night I came home and told my children stories of ghosts, of fairies, and of enchanted lands. These are my children, Robbie. The nursery was my home, not the bed. And yet, she holds my boys like pieces in the game. She'll move them forward, or she'll hold them. It is not right. I have never seen them since the day I was sent. They are animals, lower than animals. The animal holds its close, lets it cut. No, I cannot speak of it.
Oscar, it is war. You know that. She must use what she has. You must lay aside your feelings against her. They lead nowhere. They lead to your exclusion. They will lead to your extinction.
My life is split in the sand. Red wine in the sand. And the sand drinks because it is thirsty and for no other reason. When will she stop and say enough?
Then you leave Bosie. I am here today to tell you she will divorce you if you do not leave Bosie.
Leave him. Leave him. And go where?
You promised not to take up with him. You signed a contract.
No.
You did.
I have reread the contract.
Well, it is clear.
The contract which I signed while I was in prison specifies that I was not, on my release, to take up with a disreputable person.
So, well?
So, Lord Alfred Douglas is not a disreputable person.
Oh, please.
He is not legal. Not by legal definition. Because his reputation has not been tried. It has not been tried in a court of law.
Are you serious? Are you seriously proposing this?
I am legally disreputable, but he is not. Oh yes, Bosie may not be liked, I have said sometimes that some of my friends do not like me. You yourself, Robbie, do not like me. Am I right? I admit that I myself have used him to good effect in society. He serves as a repellent. He drives all kind of unwelcome people away. It may be, I admit this also, that he is known throughout Europe as a gilded pillar of infamy. However, I have learned something in my time in the court. The fact is this. Until he is tried, he is not disreputed.
You think this will help you? You think this argument will weigh?
Well, I'm hoping it will make.
Oscar, you know who he is. You know what he has done.
What exactly has he done?
When you dismissed him, when in prison you said you would not see him again, when you finally told him that he was the cause of your downfall, what did he do?
Be quiet. He's above. He's in the room above.
He tried to publish certain
Do not
correspondence.
speak of it. Do not speak of it. Do not.
He intended to publish the letters, the most intimate things that had ever passed between
Do not say more.
endearments, pledges, declarations of feeling. He breathed all over you at red in saloons and laughed at gentlemen's clubs. To take the very heart of you and show it to the world. Do you think this was love? Well,
He panicked.
panic.
Yes, he had not seen me. He was forbidden to see me.
For good
He was
reason.
desperate. He thought publication would be helpful to our cause. All right. He lacks judgment.
He lacks nothing. He's full of cunning.
You know nothing of what passes.
Constance wrote to you. She asked you to visit her.
I could not visit you.
Why not?
I was just out of prison. Be fair, Robbie. It was difficult. I was confused. I was not myself.
Those he asked, and you were back.
All right.
In what? Within 1 week, within 10 days.
All right.
Constance asked, and you ignored her.
She offered me a place. Here we are. We would work together. We could write. It is a future.
Do you wonder she's angry? The one thing she asked you not to do.
Not just she, the whole world. You are all spitted. You are all rebuked. Every one of you. The world puts me in prison in order to prove they could destroy my relationship with Lord Alfred Douglas.
What?
Yes. Now you discover you cannot. So the world seeks its revenge. I am shut by God. And my work goes unperformed, not because of the sin, never because of the sin, but because I refuse to accept the lesson of the sin. To alter my life now would be to admit I was wrong. A patriot put in prison for loving his country goes on loving his country. A poet put in prison for loving boys loves boys. I have taken my punishment. Was that not enough? Was that not what was asked? Have I not suffered? Have I not endured? But no. The rules are now to be changed. I have done my term, but now new obligations are to be imposed. No longer is punishment enough. The moral of my punishment must be stuffed down my throat. I must choke it.
You really see no difference. Oscar, do you see no difference between those who put you in prison and those who now seek to help you?
Oh yes, there is a difference. Once I was punished from simple malice. Now I am punished in the interests of moral example.
That is not fair.
Is it not? How do you see it then? Please, tell me. What, in fact, is my allowance? What am I paid? What does she pay?
Well,
£3 a week, less £150 a year.
yes.
By a signed agreement, signed by both parties.
Exactly.
Negotiated by you, my only source of income. By divorcing me, she discontinues that allowance. I am left with nothing.
Yes.
The scheme now is that I shall have no food at all. It is proposed to leave me to die of starvation or to blow my brains out in Naples urine. And once more, the scheme is put forward on moral grounds. What perfection of hypocrisy! Please, kill me because you hate me, but do not kill me because you wish to change.
Constance does not seek to kill you. You are doing it yourself.
Well, so be it. The public loves poets to die in this way. It seems to them poetically right.
That may be the effect. Oscar, that is not the intention. Myself, I owe Constance nothing. She is not my friend. You are my friend. I have sought nothing but only to be the go-between.
Then get me some bread. I have never come across anyone in whom the moral sense was dominant, who was not heartless, cruel, vindictive, log-stupid, and entirely lacking in the smallest sense of humanity. Moral people are simple beasts. Think on. I have offered to live in separate quarters.
That is not enough.
No.
Be serious, Oscar.
I have offered to live 2 streets away.
You know what she wants.
Do I? Do I, in fact? 2 streets not enough. How many streets then? 3? More? Would you bring us a globe then, Robbie? Shall we sit, you and I, old friend, and look together at a map? What distance are we talking about? Different towns, different countries, different continents. Will you draw a line which she considers just?
It is your business. It is your decision.
Yes, as you say.
He is a repellent. Use him by all means. But repellents are indiscriminate. They also drive away those whom you will need as your friends.
All right.
Thank you.
You have made a long journey.
Yes.
We have not seen you here before.
No.
My friend Galileo is taking me out dancing. Do you wish to accompany us
I cannot. I'm leaving tonight for the night train.
already? Oscar?
Forgive me. My dancing days are over. Your mother's letter.
Thank you. Well, it was good to see you, boy. However, don't wake up. I'll be late.
You have your key?
I do. Goodbye, everyone. Enjoy yourselves.
Oh, yes.
Esto que hacer, a la próxima.
Dance for me, Bosie. Dance one for me. And will you not stay with me, Robin? Will you not stay here tonight?
I cannot.
No.
Truly, I cannot. I must return to England.
Wow. The worst moment in prison being, I tell you. After several months, I was ill. My stomach wrecked, attended by dysentery, working on a treadmill, then thrown in my cell, gasping for breath, for air. The governor of the prison visited. He said, "Well, you must learn patience." I replied, "Patience I would happily learn, but what you are teaching me is a..." I have enjoyed our talk. I see no one. I shall miss you, Bobby. I shall miss the chance to
I'm sorry. It hurts me to say. I do not know how to say this, but I must dispatch a message to Constance. So, well, it is so. Good to see you, Oscar. I have very little. I can leave you £2 only. Even £2 is not easy. I myself am at some considerable inconvenience. Yes, art is a thriving record, as you say, but not when you are known to be Oscar Wilde's oldest friend. So, shall I leave it here?
leave it. I shall one day see you again.
Once this is final, she closed, closing the door behind him. Loud does not close. place swimming and swimming the moon. The night phases to gear down. The lighthouse beam sweeps round the gate from outside the window, catching wild briefly in the light. There is a passage of time, it is night. Rod is still sitting in the same chair. Most of the brandy has gone, only his burning cigarette indicates his presence. Their light comes from a gossamer hung by Mossy as he comes downstairs, still dressed. The music fades as Mossy is surprised to see one. Sit to.
Oscar, you're here.
Yes?
Were you here all along? Have you been sleeping?
No.
You did not hear me come in. Why did you not say anything? You did not speak to me.
I was struck dumb by the fact that you came back alone.
Very funny.
Thank you.
Ah, I see. Have you been writing?
Yes, I've been writing my play.
In the dark? You're extraordinary.
You think so?
You sit here. When did you last move?
Oh, quite recently. I've occupied this chair for only one single transit of the sun.
Are you planning to move?
No.
Have you slept at all?
No. Ideally, I like to drink anise. I drink it not because it makes me sleep. Nothing makes me sleep. Because at the moment I drink it, I believe that I shall sleep. Belief is everything. Faith is everything. It is the same with love.
With love.
Yes.
In what way?
The vulgar error is to think that love is a kind of illusion.
Is it not?
No. Lovers say when they cease to love, "Oh, I have been stripped of my illusions. I see him clearly."
Are they not right?
No, Lucy. The reverse is a truth. Everyday world is shrouded. We see it dimly. Only when we love do we see the true person. The truth of a person is only visible through love. Love is not the illusion. Life is.
You heard me come in.
Yes, of course, hours ago.
I was early.
I heard you moving about.
I have been thinking.
I can tell.
After all, we have been here 3 months.
Yes,
We cannot just go on.
No.
I mean, without money.
plain. As you say, you are right. The Ballad of Reading Gal is to be published next year.
What did Robbie say of it?
He did not mention it. My feeling is he did not like it. Silence is always the most potent form of literary criticism.
How is Robbie?
Robbio himself.
Yes, Robbie is always himself. Is he bringing good news?
The news.
A long way to come.
Indeed.
Can you tell me what he said?
He told me that Whistler is still at his dogs.
Oh.
The Cafe Royal is still full. Men taking care not to cross their legs. Gentlemen seeking advancement in society cover their arses with 3 layers of tailored material. Frankly, I should be carried shoulder high by the crutches down Savile Row. For now, a whole generation of respectable people must conceal their nether parts behind high-priced, redundant fabric. My arrest, thank God, has had some commercial benefits.
But not for you.
No, surely.
Oscar, I have come to a conclusion. That is what I was facing.
Ah,
I have come to believe that we are in some way at fault.
at fault.
Has that not occurred to you? Do you think that human beings just live? The lot of they handed, the order they undergo. Do you think this depends purely on working of chance?
I am sorry, I am not following.
Oscar, it is not my wish to hurt you.
Surely.
but do you not feel the way we are living here in Naples, the place we found ourselves in? Do you find it some sort of judgment?
Judgment?
Yes. Come, look! Look around you! The empty room, the appalling leg of servant, the rats! Please, the absence of money, the hunger, even the futility. Our ceaseless disputes. The sometimes barren evening, has it not occurred to you? Have you not thought? The night you sit alone in this chair, the loss of your friends, the collapse of your reputation. No,
Go on, please. Build your case.
Oscar.
It is beginning to sound positively monumental.
I sound too harsh. It is not my wish to be unkind to you.
Never?
But have you never thought that perhaps we live like this because this is what we deserve?
Deserve.
Yes.
Goodness. A big word. Deserve. I have never been sure I understand it. Please, explain to me gently. Possibly I am obtuse.
Oscar.
There is some justice. Is that your contention? At work here, we find our old friend Fate.
Well,
Fate is at work, is it? Doing its worst.
I fear so.
What you are suggesting is, let me be clear, you think that Fate is not blind. What is this, Lucy? A late conversion?
No, an early conversion.
Fate has dealt us this hand, but only because what? We have lived in the wrong way?
Not we, Oscar. You.
Ah, I see. Yes, of course, now I have your drift. The old cause,
Yes.
the first source of our misfortunes, as you believe.
Not as I believed. As it is.
Now I establish it. Now I am clear.
Yes.
We return. Ponce Rodrigo.
The decision to lie.
Oh, of course.
And the decision to persist in the lie. From this all hell
We
steers.
have discussed this, Posey. We do not need to discuss it again. I think I preferred it when you spent the night fishing.
I cannot forgive you. I cannot forgive you
No,
this
that's it.
lying in public. Isn't that your principal achievement? Isn't that the thing for which you will chiefly know?
It may be.
You were given your center. You were given your chance. The Old Bailey. You could have defended Brick Log. How will history judge you? History will forget
No doubt.
you. You will be known forever as the man who was ashamed to admit his own nature. Your place will be forgotten. Why? Because you did not dare. Because you did not stand up.
You think that is the reason?
When a better time comes, when this kind of love is accepted and understood, then you will be condemned. Because you took the Paul's way. Did you ever consider the simple expedient of telling the truth?
In public.
Of course.
I think I could safely say never.
From this central invasion, all else follows. With you, everything is compromise. Everything is dishonesty. I cannot live like this.
No. Plainly.
Oscar, I have wanted to say for some time. It is worse, truly. I have known this is difficult to hear, but from my point of view, our situation is far worse for you.
Ah, yes? How so?
I am young.
Ah,
My life ahead of me.
of course.
You're old. Your best days behind you.
I suppose. I mean, if you want to put it that way.
To be destroyed when you're in your 40s, yes, it is sad. It is tragic, of course. I do not deny it.
No.
I have never denied it, but for me, the prospect of being destroyed when my life is still before me.
Yes, I see. Plainly it's inconvenient.
I cannot allow it. Also, remember, we have not spoken much of this lately, but since I first met you, I've always told you, I've always made clear, it is not in my nature finally to be with men, to love men.
No.
I am not disposed as you are to love my own sex. For me, as you know, it has been only a phase.
Of course.
Since adolescence, it is only a phase I have been passing through.
That's right. Though occasionally with an appetite which the imperceptive might mistake for positive relish.
Oh yeah, very good.
I'm sorry.
You may make some jokes.
Thank you.
You have always made cheap jokes.
No, not always. Once people paid for them.
I am not an invert.
No. Just a brilliant mimic.
Oh yeah, certainly. I'll just say I've indulged myself.
Yes, once or twice.
I've had particular experience. I've slept with men.
Now steady on, Rosie. Don't get carried away.
I admit I have let events take me.
Indeed, that night in Capri.
Oh please! You have jumped enough. I've indulged myself, yes, but always knowing that I could stop at any time.
That is fortunate.
At any time. God knows. Since I came down from Oxford, I have seen enough of your friends. I have known enough old queens.
Indeed.
My God. The horror of it. Ending up like that? No, thank you. To find myself at 40 or 50, painted, bruised, sitting in bar? Not for me. Not that life. This is not the destiny of my family. That is not my future. I've always known that I would move on.
And will you? Is that what you're saying? Will you now move on?
Oscar, you know that I will not leave you. I will not leave you against your will. It would be wrong. I asked you here.
You did.
It was at my request. I shall not dishonor the request. Too many people have left you. Too many people have betrayed you. You have not been good at choosing your friends.
On the contrary, I have the gift of choosing. Holding on to them has proved to be ambiguous.
Yes. You know what I mean.
I do. Dawn is coming. I shall not need to turn. Already I feel it like a hand. I feel the light at my back. You must forgive me when I have hurt you.
Hurt me.
Yes,
What do you mean you have hurt me?
I have sat here, I have been listening. All night I have been listening. I have heard you moving overhead.
I see.
Every step, every movement you have made. I have heard your intent. I thought, a winter trip, can it be? A return to Capri. But I reasoned that the season had ended. Even Europe's damned souls. Even we do not go to Capri in December.
Oscar, it is just for you, yes, to be enabled, to write every day. There is a project here for you which is virtuous, which makes sense, but for me, there is nothing true. And I have a family to return to.
I see.
My mother has written.
Yes, I've noticed that as well. I should request gainful employment as a concierge. I miss nothing. You have read the letter? When did you read it?
Oh, at the cafe
Ah.
with Galileo. That is when I decided to come back.
You're pleased with its contents, plainly.
She had offered me money.
Ah, good. Well then.
She had offered me an allowance. She was willing to forgive. You must understand. For me, this is important.
Of course.
There are times, yes, when I have despaired even of my mother's love. I have not been certain she would love me again. But now, she is prepared to overlook the past. She is offering me 300 pounds.
Ah. Well,
Yes.
300 is something. No one can deny it. But tell me, this money, does it come with conditions?
Oscar, Postcard.
What makes me ask this? Do I have gifts of the paranormal? Are there conditions attached? After all, not 1 minute ago, you promised to stay with me.
I did.
So then, I have sat here. I have listened. I have heard you upstairs. Are you the only man on earth who packs his bags to stay where he is?
You have heard me, Oscar. You have heard my intention. I said I will not leave you without your consent. That is what I said. I await your consent. I wanted nothing but your happiness. I wanted only to make you happy. But in this, as in everything, our relationship had been a failure. The habit of dishonesty goes deep in you.
Really?
Why did you not speak? Why do you refuse to speak out?
Do not seek society's approval. I seek no one's approval. I live by my own light and no one else's. There it is, there it ends.
How do you know? How do you know until you try?
I appealed once in my life to the court of public opinion, and it gave society the chance it had been waiting for. Under no circumstances will I expose myself once more. If the cost of being understood is that I must issue manifestos, issue statements, hack out dull, factual slices of prose, full of abstract nouns, nouns as heavy as lead weights, then no. The price is too high.
Why?
Letters to papers, tracts, circulars eliciting support from the eminent in the science and the arts, laborious explanations of the origins of a malady which is not a malady, of a crime which is not a crime. To set my pen to paper is to begin to confess, and Bosie, I have nothing to confess. Even to ask, even to plead my case is to admit their right to judgment. I will not admit their authority. I will not plead. Throw me off a cliff or put me into a burning pit, but do not ask me to beg. Never ask me to beg.
So, what will you do? Will you leave? Will you go on living here alone?
I plan to live with you.
Oscar, I have said it cannot be. I cannot leave you.
Last night, Robbie was sent here by my blackmailing wife. I refused to disown her. In return, she has to cut me off.
No.
Yes. Now I have nothing. It amuses me. I admit I am amused. How often have I said the words I cannot live without you? Up till now, I have spoken them from my heart. Now I speak them from the pocket. Look me in the eyes, Rosie. I cannot live without you.
It is funny.
Yes,
In some way, it is funny. As it happens, I may be able to help.
how?
You dislike my family. You think them inconsiderate, but you do not realize they have long accepted some blame. They know that in some bringing your prosecution, you acted in some way on my behalf.
In some.
Indeed. My family has known, the 퀸즈베리 has known that they do have obligation towards you. There is a debt of honor. My mother said in her letter that she wishes to make the debt concrete.
Concrete.
In her letter, she said this.
Ah, well,
Yes,
to the heart of things.
yes.
Just how much concrete is she offering?
She will pay you 200
Two.
in 2 installments.
When?
The first at once.
100 at once.
Yes,
The second.
within 3 months.
2. Is that all?
No, 300 more as soon as she had it.
5. 5 in all. 500.
She attaches one condition, to your money as to my own.
Of course, the whole world wants that condition. Here we are, hurting no one. And yet, thus it is. It is done.
You agree?
How can I not agree? More conventionally, it is you who should receive the pieces of silver. In this case, it is me. You are free. You have always been free. Go. No speeches, please, Bosie. No reproaches. I have a horror of sentimentality. The lump in my throat is not from the release of my emotions, but from the tightening of the noose. When is your train?
Soon.
The first.
Yes, it leaves very soon.
And the first 100, when will I see that?
Oscar, I can say I feel often like an actor who has been cast in wrong part. I was never born to be a rebel.
No.
I met you purely by accident. And yet, I often consider how because of that accident I have become an outcast.
Indeed.
To me, this is a paradox. All I have ever wanted is reconciliation with my family. This way, I have.
Well then, you are fortunate.
In my mother's offer, I see some way.
Good. No doubt you will achieve what you wish. In your layer of society, ties of blood always triumph over ties of sentiment. I'll be happy to be the agent of the Queensberry family reunion. Plainly, if the Queensberrys are reunited, then my passage of suffering has not been in vain.
Oscar, I would not wish you bitter.
No, not better then. How would you wish me?
Oscar, we have tried. We have truly tried.
Oh yes.
I am fond of you, and at the least, I would wish you at peace.
Peace. Oh, surely. Do not fear for me. I have understood my actions, as you have not yet understood your own.
What do you mean?
The governing principle of my life has been love, but of yours it has been power. It is a family failing. I am sorry for you, Rosie. A love of power confers a whole bouquet of rewards, but peace is not from above. You called me back. You led me to Naples, not as an expression of your feelings, but in a demonstration of your will.
That is not true.
Do not distress yourself, I promise you. I shall be at my peace long before.
What are you saying?
You have taken from me the thing you most envied,
What is it?
what you have wanted all along. There's nothing. The pages are empty. What do I write? Shopping lists for things I've no money to buy. You have achieved your aim. You have achieved my silence.
How can you say that? How can you say such a thing? I respect your talent. I revere it. I am a poet myself. What? You leave me thus? With this accusation, you accuse me. What? Of wanting to silence the greatest dramatists of the modern stage.
Are you the excuse for my silence, or the cause of it? Whichever, that is the effect. That is the result. To lose my life will be as nothing, but to lose my art. Come to art. Walk. Take some steps. Our business is not complete. I have known you 6 years. I will know you no longer. Come closer. You will never be free until you ask my forgiveness. Kiss me. And now, I imagine that you must go on your way. In prison, I had the chance to read the Christ story over and over. It seemed to be the greatest story I ever read. But it has one flaw. Christ is betrayed by Judas, who is almost a stranger. Judas is a man he doesn't know well. It would be artistically truer if he were betrayed by John. Because John is the man he loves most. I shall not live long. I shall not be allowed to enter another century.
Well, I should be going then.
Yes.
It's time I was leaving. If there are any letters, will you send them on?
I shall.
So, goodbye then, Oscar.
Goodbye.
공연 마무리되었습니다. 다들 와주셔서 감사합니다.
다들?